friends, family, folks that see what I see. Welcome to the Ethan Young podcast. I'm here. You're here. I don't know if it'll be on this episode or on the next. And you may ask why. Wait. But I got in not one, but fucking two car accidents, one being more severe than the other. My shoulder looks like it has fucking jaundice. It took about 5 days for anything to show up. So, for instance, I just felt the pain and had no bruising whatsoever, and now my shoulder looks like I fucking have jaundice all of a sudden, major yellowing throughout, and that's something that I feel like we'll talk about. I don't know why I feel like wait. I don't know. I get on the old. Did you remember when they used to watch shows and they would like show you the most interesting part on on the trailer, right? And then they'd make you wait till the very end, or maybe not even give you the information at the very end. And that's where I say I might even wait to talk about it next week, just because I don't know. There's a lot of things that need to get settled. A lot of calls that need to be made, a lot of people that need to be talked to. It's a real fucking disaster, to tell you the truth. I can't tell you more than anything how lucky I am. I feel like I heard stories in the past of like maybe, was it Roseanne and like somebody else that had major head injuries, and then they behaviorally switched as far as after the event and before the event. They were different people. And I sure hope if that happens that I have a good turn. I hope whatever turn that I make, it is down a good avenue, because as an example, and I said I wasn't going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. I'll save it. I'm going to save it. But the windshield spiderwebbed, and I'm fairly certain that was because of my fucking brains slamming into the fucking windshield. And so I just wonder, well, I'm certain brain damage is guaranteed in that situation, right? I mean, there's no way, no matter what speed that you're going, if you fly up and hit your windshield, airbags go off, curtain side airbag, steering wheel airbag, whatever the one's down, fucking probably more curtain side, whatever the fuck. I imagine that whatever that impact is does some sort of damage on your head. I mean, Joe Rogan on JRE has been said many times that he spoke with a doctor that stated that people will come back from jet ski accidents with very severe brain damage because of the way that their body and head and everything hit the water, or even just the gush, 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 gush as you're driving. And so, unfortunately, I'd like to think that this accident probably caused me some sort of some concussion and or brain damage, which is really unfortunate. But maybe I can take advantage of that, and you know what I mean. Maybe I realize I say you know what I mean a lot. I wish I didn't hear that out of myself. I could take the possible compulsiveness that is known to sometimes come out of severe brain injuries and make some sort of career out of it, maybe. Or, you know what I mean? Hopefully something positive. I know that all of the smart and intelligent people would certainly turn this into content, and they would certainly share it. And I feel like I would be silly to not find some way to bring that information to the world. At this point, the only people I've talked to, obviously, is like, family, insurance. Oh, God, I want to not stop talking about it. It's fucking crazy. I want to not stop talking about it. I mean, it was recently, like I said, I think it was, 8 days ago? Maybe 8 days ago now? 7 days ago? 7 days ago today. It was 7 days ago today. One thing that I feel like I am blown away about is how slow I start these. No. That is one thing that I gotta fucking work on, because I'm like, Jesus Christ, you want to draw people in? You want to draw people in? Why don't you fucking talk as slow as you possibly can? Lean back in your chair. Just fucking have a good time, bro. Just kick back. Fucking talk as slow as you possibly can. I bet that'll really draw people in. They'll really want to listen to what the fuck you have to say if you just kick back and fucking act like you're stoned out of your mind. Good plan, my brother. Disappointed with myself most of the time. It's an unfortunate thing, but I don't even remember what I was going to say now. One thing I was thinking about recently is I think that I don't want to put a label on it. There are a lot of individuals that I feel like, whether on social media or in personal interactions, pat themselves on the back just a little too much. Maybe they just pat themselves on the back just a little too much for not eating only eating vegetables, not eating meat. Right? See, there's the brain injury. Yeah. See, I guess I'll rely on that. That's the ticket. Now I just fucking, every time I like fuck up, I'll just be like, brain injury is slamming my fucking face nearly through my windshield. You know what I mean? Like colliding with my fucking glass in front of my face in my car at high speeds. That's what I'll blame these things on. But again, now I don't remember what the fuck I'm talking about, but I will say a number of crazy things as far as like, I've heard over the course of my life a lot of people complain about restless leg, and this is what I was complaining about. I was complaining about the fact that I'm just fucking babbling on about whatever the fuck I want rather than trying to tell you something entertaining and tell you something exciting. I have this just inclination to babble on about whatever I believe is exciting, and at this moment the thing that I think is exciting is that now as you see, and then I get all self-conscious and I can't remember. It's fucking silly. Well, the idea was, I've heard a lot of people talk about restless leg syndrome in my life. I've heard a lot of people complain about it. I've heard a lot of people say, for instance, famous people like Chris D'Elia, I've heard him mention that he has restless leg syndrome. My own mother has had issues with restless leg syndrome. Since 7 days ago, I have done zero working out. I have not worked out for the last 7 days. Well, I worked out on that last Thursday. So that morning before the accident, I did work out, and I have not worked out, and now it's Thursday again. So I haven't worked out in, I believe, 7 days now. Before that, I only took a break. I took half of my workout in October. I did one day. I didn't do my workout when I was sick in the beginning of June, and so that was kind of wrong order. The most recent would have been the June, then backing up to the October, and then before that would have been I did half my workout one time in 2019. I haven't worked out for the last 7 days. Longest break I've taken from working out in all that time. And I've heard a lot of people talk about, God damn it, to be perfectly honest, I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. One of the things I was thinking about, though, is like I've heard a lot of people talk about like cold showers and stuff like that, or like cold therapy, or getting in like ice baths and stuff like that over a period of time. Oh, I was talking about restless leg syndrome. I was talking about, with not working out over the last 7 days, when I'm trying to go to bed at night, I have restless leg. There'll be times when I'm trying to meditate that I have restless leg. So I've never experienced restless leg, not in a long time. I used to get it really bad, like if I'd sit down for a long time. For instance, there was this thing that was like minor league hockey was popular in my area a long time ago, so we would go to these games, and I remember if I had to sit down for a long period of time, like at the games, sometimes I would get restless leg, but I wasn't working out. Well, I was working out at that time, actually, but not like as hard as I was, say, 7 days ago. So one thing I think is super interesting is like, I wonder, all these people that have restless leg syndrome, do you think that they're working out? Like, do you think that they're putting a physical exertion on their body every day? Because I've never experienced that until recently. I obviously I just clarified the exceptions of the times I have experienced it, but recently more than ever. And the big change is that I haven't been working out. Another thing that I think is a big change is that I almost hate it, but I'll do my shower with like just a hair of the hot water on, and then after the shower is over, I'll turn the hot water completely off, and I'll try to just sit there in the full cold water. I have this thing going on in my leg. I'm not sure if the thing in my leg was going on before the accident or I just noticed it after the accident, because when you're working out 2 times a day, it's not always exactly 2 workouts. You know, there's 2 times a week that it's yoga, and then there's 1 time a week that it's like a warm-up and cool-down session. But my point is that in all that action, I was moving so much that I think it was possible that I would just overlook some sort of minor pain that I have, like, say, in my leg. But now that I've taken this break, I realize that I have, say, if you're trying to play, like, hacky sack, like, say, the motion that you would do if you were trying to kick the hacky sack on the inside of your foot and try to kick it straight up. If I would try to do that somewhere where my top of my leg connects to my hip, basically, so I don't know if that's my hip flexor or what it is. It hurts like hell. There's something wrong with it. It hurts like fuck. Like, there's something wrong with it. And again, I think, to be honest, I was carrying, there was this tiny Mexican gal, right? And she had like 6 cases of water. And I was like, fuck, man, if I grab 3 of those, I run them up the stairs real quick, I come back down, I grab the other 3, I'll help this lady out, right? She didn't even look like she knew what the fuck I was talking about. She didn't even look like she knew what I was saying, but I grabbed 3 of the cases of water, and I was trying to skip like 3-4 steps, like running up the stairs. I believe in doing that my fucking whatever, that connecting ligament or whatever, I think I like pulled something, because you can run upstairs like that, but with all that extra weight, my body was just like, something happened. So, and it's not a hernia, because it's below that. It's right below that, because it's in my leg. So I think that's probably when it happened. But I just noticed this. But I'm taking these cold showers. I think my fucking shoulder is gonna be okay. Like, I mean, again, the part that I have not been shy about is I got into 2 fucking car accidents. I look like I have jaundice. I have very severe bruising. I think I'm gonna be okay. And these cold showers, it's fucking incredible. Like, I'll try to do like this is like 1, and then like 2, you know what I mean? So like I try to do that up to 60, right? And I'll end up doing that like maybe 3 times, at least 2, probably 3 times a day. I'll go in there and I'll do that. Just completely no hot water, fully cold water. It's amazing. It's amazing. If I was going to tell anybody that had any injury ever, if I was ever going to talk to somebody that had any injury, the first thing I would tell you to invest in would be an ice bath. I myself, I'm like, I need to get an ice. Cold shower is making what I was fucking thought was going to be a life-changing injury not feel so bad. My leg, not so bad. I can lift it up. All the healing process seems to be exponentially I think expedited maybe was the X word I was looking for. I think it seems to be expedited. It's quicker than, say, it would have been. I'm 100% certain. There are still things that I do that I know is not what a healthy shoulder would be like. I want to step. I'm almost certain tomorrow I'm going to step back. Just a little while ago, I did some I should say yesterday I did some shadow boxing. Today I actually held a 10-pound steel mace and I started going through some of the motions. Like I did like an uppercut. I did like a side load paddle swing, and I did just a couple things that I was able to do it. It didn't hurt my shoulder. I did a clean. So like where the load is on one side, and so for instance, the planted side I think is the opposite side. Yeah. So like where the side that the load is on, your planted side is the other side, but it's only like 10 pounds. But I think I can go back to like say a 15-pound mace and actually go into my workout tomorrow. And I listen. None of this is what I planned on talking about. It's crazy. I really, like I said, I wanted to talk about all this soon. I just got a text that my son is on the way, so I will have to break here shortly. But one of the things that I mentioned was like, doesn't it seem like vegans? I wasn't going to label them. It just seems like sometimes there are people that don't eat meat that pat themselves on the back just a little too much. And I don't know where I got off on a tangent. I swear to God, I mentioned this. Did I not mention this? I did mention this. I didn't mention this? I don't know now. So it seems like vegans, I wasn't going to mention them. I wasn't going to label them. Oh, I'm the worst. I keep doing it. The point is there are people that don't eat meat. There are people that don't eat things that come from animals. There are people that think that they're, by doing that, avoiding at least for sure something, they're avoiding death. I think some think that they're even avoiding violence. 100% clear that that's not true. Obviously, with, again, you listen to like I say again because I feel like I've said it. If you listen to like Ted Nugent, you've heard him say that like these combines or whatever this farm equipment is literally followed by vultures. These vultures are killing rodents that are getting eaten up by it. Excuse me, they're eating the rodents that are getting killed and eaten up by it. They're eating ground nesting birds that are getting eaten up by it. And there's a lot of death. On top of that, I'm sure there's a lot of violence in the sense that there's things that get killed, they get hurt but don't get killed. They get damaged. Their lives, their fucking homes, their environments, their habitats get fucked up, but they don't get killed. So no matter what, I feel like you'd like to think that you're avoiding violence. You think that you're avoiding some sort of death. But realistically, no matter what, most people, if they're even eating a salad, are probably, or tofu, are contributing to violence and death, unfortunately. I wonder sometimes if even eating a salad is avoiding violence. Because have you ever thought about like how fucking hard sometimes you have to like stab the shit out of that salad just to get it loaded up on your fork? So then you got your fork all loaded up with fucking salad, and then you're just trying to fucking slam it into your mouth, and it's literally jumping off the fucking fork. It's like drenching your face in dressing as you're trying to shove it in your mouth. It's a fucking disaster. It's a goddamn war zone. And then, I mean, like, don't even get me started on cherry tomatoes. Like, if you have a cherry tomato in there and you're trying to fucking stab it, it actively runs from you as you try to stab it. It will literally shoot to the other side of the bowl or plate anytime you try to put a fucking stab on it. And I just wonder, I don't know, man, lettuce climbing out of your mouth, gushing onto your face with fucking dressing as you try to shove it in there, fighting it with a fork. It doesn't even seem like the least violent process. To me, it's kind of a violent process. I mean, I'm fucking cleaning up what could be fucking blood, like I'm a wolf jamming fucking some sort of, small animal into my face. But, I don't know. I guess better than trying to like shove your belly into your pants, right? Why do people do that? What the fuck is that all about? Like, right? I mean, like, they will just take so much belly. And I've talked about it before, but even like some of those swimsuits that they've made so that like women can take their big fucking fupa or pooge or whatever the fuck you want to call it and shove it in there. And you're like, dude, you're not hiding anything. I don't know what that is, but you are fucking jamming your belly into those pants. And I just don't, I guess point being, I guess it's better to have the violence of shoving that fucking lettuce into your face rather than having the unfortunate, sad situation where you're shoving your belly into your pants, right? So I guess you gotta pick, right? Gotta pick. It's one thing I was thinking recently. I guess I have indigestion. No, not really. Something was going on there. But doesn't Bernie Sanders feel like an adjective that, you would maybe give your farts after you've had too much spicy food? No? Isn't that like, what I mean? Very unfortunate. Like, given his look where he's got his fucking gigantic hair that he just gives no fucks about. On top of that, his name alone doesn't sound very, you know what I mean? It gives you kind of a, I sit up a little tighter in my chair when I hear it. That's all I gotta say. Maybe I'm the only one. One of those things I've been hearing recently is we're supposed to remove fucking plastic from our diets. And I think about like how hard I'm trying to do that now, but let alone like the past. The amount of times that I drank fucking alcohol as a young person out of plastic water bottles, I'm practically a fucking Ken doll. Like I literally, not one of those like nowadays Ken dolls that's all fucking cuck, but like one of the 90s Ken dolls that was kind of like lean and buff, but not like the private parts obviously because they're all bare and shaving out there. But Other than that, I think it's like, the amount of plastic that I have in my diet forever. I could be, I don't know. People are like, dude, you're worried about the fucking plastic in your diet and you're talking about Barbies. They're like, you're concerned about plastic in your diet, and yet you are a over 30-year-old man talking about Barbies on camera. That seems like maybe you might have your priorities out of touch, but hey, let's talk more about plastic in your diet right there, pal. You're like, maybe not thinking about the right things, but I don't know. I heard that Buzz Lightyear in one of the Toy Stories, I remember one time he said he said the Ken doll was a very well groomed man. What do the kids say these days? I felt that shit. I really felt that shit. I was like, I can relate to that. That's kind of my goal in life, is to be a well-groomed man. I don't know what it is. It gives me some sort of pleasure. Even like a dude, if I'm not going anywhere, if I have a day off, it's very hard for me not to shave my face. My son, literally 8 years old, if I have one day of hair on my face, one day of hair, he'll still be like, what is that? What are you doing there? What's going on? Like, he'll call me out immediately after one day of hair because it's so unlike me to like have hair on my face. You know what I mean? He's like, what are you doing? What's going on? Speaking of that, he should be here any minute now. I feel like I should break just now. I have other stuff to talk about. Maybe I just wait till I fucking hear him bang on the door. Dude. Adults, right? We all have like our thing, right? We all have like our drug. We all have like our fucking vice. We all have like our thing that we need. I mean, most people, even if they're not like going to say they have like some sort of drug that they follow, they probably at least do caffeine or something like that. Caffeine, sugar, carbs, you know what I mean? Like, whether you even want to act like you don't have a drug in some way, you probably have something that you get some sort of chemical rush on, that you get some sort of fucking high on, that you chase constantly. My son is fucking Fortnite. 100% Fortnite. Dude, his pupils will get fucking so big. They'll be as dilated as mine would be if I was on LSD or mushrooms. They would just be fucking blown up, dude. Just huge. I mean, he's so excited. Like his fucking, like when you're on cocaine and you can't even close your eyes, dude. Or that fucking lawyer of Johnny Depp's that showed up on like the 20th day and it didn't seem like he could close his eyes. He was just like constantly like fucking couldn't close his eyes. Have you ever been like so cooked out that you just fucking you can't possibly close your eyes? The trick is smoking some weed. You just have to smoke some weed and then you kind of like chill out a little bit. But dude, my son, when he's doing Fortnite, especially like if he just bought like fucking 1,800 V-Bucks on Fortnite, oh my god, he's a lunatic. Like, you look in his eyes and he's a cokehead. He's so fucked up. It's crazy. The release that he is getting is just as good, I swear to god, as anybody's getting from their fucking morning muffin, anybody's getting from their fucking 300 milligram espresso, you know what I mean? Anybody's getting from these whatever that they've tried. You know, one of the things that I want to try, I keep hearing it, and I even know me and my son actually wandered into some gas station one time recently. It used to be like a normal 7-Eleven, and then 7-Eleven cut the fuck out of there, and they built a brand new big nice 7-Eleven like a few blocks away, but on a different place. Basically it's like almost on the same street, but it's a few blocks over, maybe 2 miles actually. I don't know how the fuck far it is. It's not at the same place. So this other person bought it, and it's one of those places that, you know, like they sell everything. So they sell like, everything. And so I remember one time I were in there, and he said he sold, what's that stuff called? No, I can't remember what it's called, and I just feel stupid. It's amazing. Every time I'm doing these editing and I fucking watch myself try to say one of these things, I'm just like, dude, it's so obvious. Like, come on, just so kratom, dude. They sell kratom, for instance, at this gas station. So like, I know I could just get it there, but I see people like raving about it here recently, and I've always heard people, but like the one person that I heard talking about it like a lot in the beginning was like Chin, the producer of like a Fighter and the Kid and King and the Sting and things like that, and he was like trying to get off of it. He'd been doing it for years, and he's trying to get off of it. So I was thinking, well, fuck, I better not start. I mean, not like I have the money to bring extra habits into my life, but I better not fucking start. But anyway, we'll talk about hopefully something else aside from what Buzz Lightyear said in Toy Story and about Ken dolls and things like that. Maybe we'll have something more exciting. And there's my son. All right, talk to you soon. Okay, I'm back. My son showed up with 24 ounces of onion rings, so I blame any slow or lethargic behavior in the future or in the rest of this podcast on the fucking Sonic drive-in food that I ate. My son showed up and he had a lemonade, which made my fucking eyes like he said my eyes did a crazy thing when I fucking drank it. It was this most sour lemonade I've ever tried in my life, but not a lot of fast food. Gosh, there's something I was going to talk about in a later episode, but now that I'm thinking about it, I just tried the fucking, they got me a chicken sandwich from Sonic Drive-In. So chicken sandwich, lemonade, and like I said, literally over a pound, probably a pound and a half of fucking onion rings. Half of the pound was for my son, and then pound was for me. I don't know why, because I'm like this fucking, like I fucking lived in the Depression. Yeah, let me say fucking twice, and then it makes it more serious somehow, loser. I ate the whole pound of onion rings. So I literally, like, I feel sweat coming out of my head. Like I feel the zits already growing on my body. I don't know if the fucking cold showers can keep that inflammation down, but I'm just going to pray that that's the case, because I am so full of fast food at this moment. Ooh, but what I was going to say, I don't know if I've talked about it before. And I should not constantly say that, because I'm constantly saying, like, ooh, I talked about this last time, or dude, I know I talked about this like 3 times, and like these are the episodes that I talked about it on, and like, so I'm sorry that I'm repeating myself. But most people are like, this is the first time that I've ever listened to you. I'm not going to listen to you again, so it doesn't matter if you're, you know what I mean? And so I tried the chicken sandwich at Wendy's. This evening, I tried the chicken sandwich at Sonic. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, none of these chicken sandwiches compare to the fucking spicy chicken sandwich at McDonald's, and not just any of the spicy chicken sandwiches. Because for instance, I've had the spicy chicken sandwich with just the mayo and the tomatoes and the lettuce and shit like that. Not the same. Not as good. I believe it's fucking 4D on their menu. And yeah, dude, yep, I know it's number 4 and it's option D. I'm a fat piece of shit. Like, dude, yep, I know what it is. They take the Big Mac sauce, so the sauce from the fucking Big Mac, and they put it on a spicy chicken sandwich, which I think is on like a fucking potato bun with pickles. It's ridiculous. It destroys. I don't even want Wendy's fucking cardboard tasting chicken sandwich to touch my mouth. There was so much mayonnaise on this one that I got tonight from Sonic that was given to me. And almost any time you get free food, I swear to God, it's better than it should be. Right? It always tastes better than it should be, because you're just like, dude, thank you so much for thinking of me. You know what I mean? I don't know really what the rule is, because I think technically you're supposed to say thank you or whatever, but sometimes I get concerned, like, did somebody do it with strings attached? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't respond the way you wanted to. Like, I didn't realize there were strings attached. You know what I mean? But I think I'm supposed to say thank you. But my point is, like, sometimes I get like fast food and things like that, and maybe I don't respond appropriately. Here recently, I've had a real discipline fucking issue in my house, so my mom has brought me these things. They're said to have been created in Boulder, as I've seen here recently, looking for the available positions in my area. They have a warehouse in Loveland, Colorado, but there's this place called Bobo's, and they make these fucking like oat cakes, and my mom gave me like fucking 68 pallets of oat cakes from Bobo's, and I have been just struggling. I literally ate, I want to say 7 boxes. So probably since I fucking got in this accident, and since I've been trying to avoid inflammation, I've probably eaten 7 boxes of fucking like oat cakes that my mother gave me. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely fucking terrible. Worst thing I could do. Just like literally, I'm just like, the more inflammation I can get, the better, please. Just loading my body full of inflammation. Don't even know why I'm talking about that anymore. I'm so feeling the guilt. My chin is sweating. I have fucking onion rings pouring out of my chin at the moment. Breck was like, there's no wind in here. There's no wind in here. Like I said, he just showed up with his fast food. I said that in one of my episodes a while ago. I think it was like episode 24 or something like that. No wind in here, friend. It's a habit. It's a habit I can't. It's a habit. What do they say? Old habits die hard. Johnny Depp said that. Johnny Depp said that in that Blow movie, didn't he? And that's kind of why they didn't question the fact that he like left the country and came back in 2 days with a bunch of blow. It's kind of the whole idea, right? I had information I was going to talk about Johnny Depp for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mentioned casually one of the pieces of information I had. I was so late to the party to begin with. I literally forgot. I avoided the fucking... If it weren't for my son's television advertising it to me, and then like people like Chris D'Elia talking about it on his podcast, Joe Rogan talking about it on his podcast, I would have avoided the entire thing. Then I finally dive in and I realize it is fucking gripping. I'm taking whatever extra hours I have in my day to fit in every... Obviously, I fast forward when they'd go up and talk to the judge and shit, and I'd fast forward during the fucking recesses. But, I watched almost all the trial. I didn't watch the end of the trial. I just read when the verdict came out, and I was like, I guess I don't need to watch any more of that. But my point in saying that is, like, I even have stuff I still wanted to say about that trial, but I didn't... One of the biggest things I thought was crazy is that one lawyer that looked exactly like fucking Amy Schumer. They were the same person. Like Amy Schumer and that one lawyer are the same person. She disappeared for a few days. I literally thought she got fired because she was a fatty. I know that sounds crazy to say, but he had like that Camille Vasquez lady who was like so ridiculously hot. The first time I mentioned her, I called her the fucking mistress of objection because I had no idea what her name was or who she was, but it was fucking ridiculous, the statement that she made. There's still tabloids at this time talking about that, but pretty unreal, man. Pretty unreal how that whole thing folded out. I can't believe, like looking back to see me just like, I wanted to label the fucking first podcast where I mentioned it, like, do I live in a cave or something like that? Cause like looking back, like thinking of the spectacle that it was to the amount of people that it was in the world. And then to hear me talk about like, how are people watching this and like who's making the money off of this? Are Johnny Depp and Amber Heard the ones putting this out in the world? Are they the ones monetizing on this? And then just realizing like how in the fucking clouds I was about the whole situation until I actually listened to the fucking trial. And then once I fucking listened to the trial, like, my initial, I came in when Amber was giving her testimony. And so I had no reason not to fucking believe her. And then not to mention, I think in my heart, I wanted to fuck her a little bit. So I was like, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And then I was completely wrong about everything. And then you just realize what a lunatic she is and the fact that she's lying. And you hear her on that recording later where she sounds like an absolute fucking psycho. And then you just realize it was all fake and it was all bullshit. And it's just so amazing, the ups and downs. And so to like look back even myself at like me innocently going through it but experiencing all these emotions and things like that, it's crazy what a spectacle that was. Like I feel like maybe not as intensely, but that will be like a trial that we all remember maybe as much as say the OJ trial was a part of people's lives. Like for instance, I'll always remember the OJ trial and that it occurred and the age that I was. I think I was 5, 6, 7 years old, and then I was like 5 when the fucking white Bronco chase occurred. I don't remember when the trial occurred after that. And then, you know what I mean? It's like this trial, I feel like everybody will always remember where they were and how old they were and what they were doing and how they felt about it and how it affected the actors. And even like people have gone back and forth. Like, I've read headlines that have said, like, Amber wasn't able to work for Aquaman 2 and now she's going to work for Aquaman 2. I've read headlines that said, like, Johnny was not going to work for the fucking next franchise and then now he is. And who knows, right? I mean, it's like fucking one thing that I never even dipped my toe into that, like, everybody didn't fucking hesitate to dip their toe into was the Twitter Elon Musk thing. And it was like, apparently he was gonna buy it and now he's not gonna buy it and now they're gonna sue him. And so it's just like, shit changes. Shit changes. But one of the things that I fucking realized changed is, did you guys experience in your area or your region, and you'll have to let me know in the comments or send us an email at ethanyoungpodcast@gmail.com, but did you notice at any time throughout the last few months that the whole milk completely disappeared? Like, the whole milk from Walmart's, the whole milk from Sam's Club, the whole milk from a lot of the places that I shop was just completely not to be found. So there was weeks and weeks and weeks in a row. Not to mention, though, I was going to say weeks in a row, I notice how often I don't finish sentences. I will literally not even finish a thought. I was just going to go on and not even finish that thought because I knew the end of it. I know the end of that thought. I don't need to share it. I know where the fuck I was going. There was weeks and weeks that there was no whole milk on the shelves in a number of stores. And then with inflation, I was going to move on and say that the price went up so much that when it was unavailable, I was buying oat milk. I'd never tried oat milk before. Oat milk is fucking amazing. I don't know if it's bad for you or whatever, but it's so fucking good. It even has a really nice taste to it. It gives like it gives like that, you want to like kind of smack your lips a little bit taste to it when you eat it, but oat milk is fucking good, man. And it's like milk used to be $2-3 a gallon, right? But now that it's fucking $4 something a gallon and oat milk is $5, it's like, okay, so if I pay a few cents more, so I don't I try to buy whole milk if it's available, but I was just curious if anybody experienced the whole milk shortage that we experienced in northern Colorado, because it was just completely, I didn't expect it, and just didn't know if we were just the only ones or what the fuck was going on there. And then also I fucking started buying oat milk, and I realized how good oat milk is. And I mean, it's like, if you can afford it, it's just a little bit more, but it's so much better. I had mentioned a couple episodes ago that I was going to talk about the vitamins and the supplements that I take and mention them. After doing that, I basically had this like school assignment feeling. So it's like almost like I myself was the fucking speech teacher, and then I have to report back and talk about my fucking speech, right? And that made me not want to do it. So dumb, right? Like, if I can just freely talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about, and I'm passionate and excited about it, it's so much better than me even, like, I was like, I could do a segment. I could mention one supplement that I do every fucking, next podcast for a little while now. And then I found myself like starting to research the first one, and I was like, this sucks. I don't want to do this. This is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I do have information on my phone about one of the supplements, and I'll probably continue to do it, and I'll figure it out, and I'll present it. But the way it felt was so much like a project that I was like, I don't even want to do this. And then that made me think, I have one that I could share no matter what. And I've mentioned it before. I've mentioned it on my Instagram, but because of the way that I mentioned it, I was trying to win a challenge and I lost the challenge. And so I ended up deleting it. But I've mentioned it on a number of podcasts before. So I even realized, like, for the longest time, I started feeling this pain in my foot again, because I got some injury that I fell off a large height, and I landed directly on my heel, and I was not expecting it, so all of my weight went directly on my heel. My heel broke into 3 places. And so I've never stopped taking turmeric. I always take turmeric. I started taking a different kind of turmeric, was not aware that that was the change that I make, and I started feeling these pains again, and I'm like, maybe it's just the way I'm working out, maybe I tweaked it, it's like I just expect to be in some sort of pain. Same thing with like my leg, where I was like, I'm pretty sure I've had this pain in my leg since I did the fucking water bottle carry, but I think I just wasn't bothered by it because I was asking so much of myself that one little thing is like, it's not that much to worry about, right? I realized I was kind of sitting back behind the mic, and if you actually were trying to look at my ugly, sweaty onion ring face, you might be like, what is he back here? Why is he? What is he? Why are you? What are you? And so the transcript on what I just did is going to be a total pain in my fucking dick for me to, what are you? What is he? What are you? What is he? Dude, the fucking closed captioning And then the amount of time that it takes, the most time that I spend editing, the most amount of time that it takes me to edit is writing the transcript. It will write you a fairly good transcript, but the amount of things that it messes up, you have to go through the entire thing. I'll be honest, I've noticed the majority of even the most professional people that I follow do not do that. They know that you know what they said, even you'll see it on Instagram. You're on Instagram, people are talking, the automatic captions are not always what they're saying. You know what the fuck they said, though. You heard them say it. The automatic caption is fucked up. If you're just reading it and you're in a place like a bank and you have your sound off and the captions automatically are all you're reading, you're going to get the wrong idea. But most of the time, if you can listen and you see those automatic captions, you realize, oh, that's wrong. My point in saying that is the thing that takes the most amount of time is creating these captions. Well, then YouTube needs like fucking days. They need days to process your transcript. So like I will publish the video when it's ready, but then I don't come back to look at it until weeks and weeks later. So then I don't update the fucking, because then after they've reviewed the draft, then you can save it and then your closed captioning transcript will save. So I won't do it for fucking weeks. And it's so weird how it almost all seems pointless. It almost all seems pointless. And even the best people that I see aren't doing it. And it's like, well, then why the fuck am I doing it? And I guess it's like if anybody was ever to look back, if they were ever to dissect what I was saying and they didn't know because I fucking do have this stupid talk as if I've slammed my head into multiple windshields, as if I've slammed my head into many other things and I have some sort of fucking CTE and all of a sudden I start mumbling together fucking sentences and thoughts for no reason. Because that happens, now I'm in space. I am fucking a space cadet. I'm a space cadet and I am gone. I am in fucking orbit, my friend. I don't remember what I was talking about. Swear to God. I know it's crazy. I can't even believe it myself. I thought it would come back to me, and now I'm all nervous, so it's not going to come back to me. I stole one of my son's Gatorades. I normally don't drink them. I stole a bunch of his Propels. I guess they're technically owned by Gatorade nowadays anyway. I'm basically a fucking free Gatorade ad at this point. Oh, yeah. I was just talking about vitamins. I don't know how the fuck I got on anything, but ultimately I was just saying that I was going to talk about vitamins. Then it became a thing, and then I didn't want to talk about them anymore. Turmeric. I realized that even I was buying turmeric at Sam's. I've had like 2 different kinds of turmeric that I bought at Sam's. Both of them have said that they were the highest milligrams that you can buy. However, I just bought a Spring Valley. So just that I've only seen it at Walmart. It may be a Walmart brand, but it's called something else. Spring Valley turmeric. It was like the extra strength turmeric at Walmart. Beat the shit out of 2 brands that I found at Sam's. Another one that I've been buying on Amazon for years is really good. That I think it's like Nature Made or something like that. I took Nature Made for a really long time. That one was great. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. So I didn't even realize that the grade of the turmeric, I was taking more, if not the same amount of turmeric when I was taking the different brands. And if I was taking a shittier grade, I would feel pains in my body. I swear to God, my grandpa said he took turmeric tea, and he noticed no difference. The biggest difference I'll say, and now that I'm getting ready to say it, I know I've said it before. I chew up fresh peppercorns. I take fresh black peppercorns. I chew up approximately at least a quarter amount, probably a $50 amount, most of the time a fucking like silver dollar amount. So anywhere between a quarter to a silver dollar amount in my hand, I chew up those black peppercorns. Then I take the good turmeric. Like I said, the extra strength Spring Valley turmeric, I took it with that. I was amazed. I only bought that because it was like $8 at Walmart, and I was out of the one I've been buying at Sam's, and immediately my pains went away. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So since I went in this car accident, I've probably been taking it 4 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day, 6 pills, however many the fuck I can take. My point in saying all of this is I didn't want to force myself to talk about a certain vitamin, but there is one vitamin that I take that if I don't take, it is so obvious, and if I don't take a high grade of it, it's so obvious, but even the highest grade of that vitamin is $8. For $8. And I take way too much. I take way too much, and I take it like twice a day, at least twice. I was taking it twice a day before I got in the car accidents. Now that I got in the car accidents, I'm taking it as often as I can. You can't take your vitamins with just water. You have to take them with fat. So I'll take them with like a cheese stick or something. With those black peppercorns, I'll chew up a cheese stick. So I chew up a cheese stick, swallow that, take the black peppercorns, the turmeric, and then I take that. With the rest of my vitamins, I normally take them with like a shake, a protein shake or something like that. You have to have fat. They're fat soluble. They're not water soluble. You can't just take a bunch of vitamins and take water and put it in your body and expect that it's all going to work. People will always say, well, I see it all just come out in the toilet. Bullshit. Your body's getting some of it, but for it to get the most effect, you need to take some sort of fat. Eat something. A cheese stick's not going to kill you. I have fucking abs. I haven't worked out for 7 days. I just had Sonic. I have onion rings coming out of my face. I have fucking abs. I swear to God, I eat a cheese stick when I take my vitamins. It's not going to make you a fat piece of shit. I'm going to become a fat piece of shit if I don't start working out again. That's for sure. And I think I can handle it. I really think, as jaundicey as my shoulder is, as yellow as it is, I think I'm going to be fucking okay. And I swear to God, if anybody has any pains and you're considering investing any money whatsoever, the first money that you should invest is in some sort of ice therapy. If not, if you can't, and you're just like me, and you're poor as fuck, and you can't do anything, you can't buy a single goddamn thing. I have a tub, but it's disgusting. I bleach it at least once a week. I clean it all the time. It's not that. It's just tubs are disgusting. And it's making my chest hurt just thinking about it. So if you're with me, you're with me. You understand. Tubs are gross. I clean it. It's bleached. I bleached the fuck out of the bathroom. It's so bleachy. It hurts your eyes. It's disinfected. It's just disgusting, right? So I don't do that. And I'm poor, right? I'm poor as fuck. So I turn off the hot water and I just put the fucking cold water over me, and I swear to God, my body is fucking healing. I got in a car accident injury, and another thing I have to say, if I hadn't been working out, I swear to God, I almost feel like it's like I had like years, right? It's almost like I had years and years, and every day I was able to just put this tiny little bit on like a piece of armor, right? By like working out, right? But I did that day after day after day after day, year after year. Then I even increased it, and it's been almost 2 years since I've increased it, added yoga, added meditation, all these extra things, right? I swear, if anything aside from these cold showers that I'm taking is making me feel this way 7 days after a severe car accident, it's like I was able to build some sort of armor on my body. It's like I was able to fucking put some sort of protection on my body day after day, just a tiny bit that allowed me to fucking heal while I've gone through this experience. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, I shouldn't feel like this. The pain that I felt the day after was like, I just got into a very severe car accident. I mean, the day after the second car accident, I was like, this is how I should feel. It's like 5 days later, and I hurt myself in the shower because I was fucking being a little bitch at the end of the cold water, and I was trying to fucking quickly move away from it, and I jammed my elbow into the fucking windowsill in the shower. That hurts as much as my shoulder does right now. What does that say? I'm like, what you know, that's why I'm like, I think I should work out tomorrow. It's been 7 days. I took 7 days off. No surgery, anything like that. Shadow boxed, did wall push-ups. So like all the things I normally do, I've done some weaker version of. whether it was with the 10-pound mace, whether it was on the wall, whether it was shadow boxing. I've done all these things in some weaker version. I feel like I have to test myself. And then the following day I would normally do yoga. And again, even what if I fall and scream in pain? Like, I think that's better than allowing my body to fall to shit and all of a sudden becoming this fat, disgusting piece. Because like I said, dude, I ate like 5 boxes of Bobos. I don't think I'm going to be able to slow down. I don't think I'm going to be like that. Like, I want to be one of those people that worked out when they were younger, had a lot of drive and testosterone when they were younger, stops working out, and then they gain 6,000 pounds because their body's just like, hey man, we're hanging on to all this energy. We know what's up. We know eventually you're gonna use it. So we're gonna store this and hang on to it, and eventually we know you're gonna need it. So, but then you never use it again. I can't be that guy. I won't be that guy. I can't do it. I feel like we're pretty much done. You're like, well, fuck you then, dude. Well, fuck you. You're like, well, then off I go. You're like, I have fucking 3 videos over here on the right-hand side of my screen. There's 3 videos that I want to watch. There's this one over here that looks really exciting. I'm literally waiting until you're done talking just to click on this. So if you're done, I'm going to fucking know. But my point in saying that is I was going to cut. And then I was going to come back. But it seems like I don't want to we're going to cut and come back. I'll be right back, okay? I'm back. You'll have to tell me what you think. I was just giving myself a nickname to my son. It was 100% inappropriate, but I was saying, dumb fuck daddy. I'm dumb fuck daddy. You have to hear him saying stop. He's super annoyed with it. I thought it was funny though. I kind of liked it. One of the last things that I wanted to talk about. There are some people that have some sort of fucking question in their mind whether or not these fucking algorithms are watching us or paying attention to us. I'm not saying that the NSA and CIA are watching us at all times. I'm 100% certain that if they ever wanted to, they have a log that they could refer to at any time. If you are important, they are watching you. I don't think I'm important. However, based on the algorithms and the way that they respond to me, I'm certain that I even need to be careful about the fucking news stories that I engage with. As an example, I open up, and I've even mentioned them on this podcast in the past. I open up some fucking time capsule stories. Now my phone thinks that I want to know about every fucking 6th grader time capsule that they've opened in the last fucking 30 years. And it's like, no. Did they dig up some fucking pogs, dude? Not interested. I get it. Okay. Power Rangers? Pogs? I'm okay. I understand. I was there. I was not as fun. Not as fun. Then you realize this is based on the fucking stories that I'm reading. So I currently am trying to find a decent... I was never fired and I never quit my fucking roofing gig that I had for a really long time. It quit becoming lucrative year after year after year. Each year I basically made $25,000 less. The first year that I came in there, I made approximately the same amount that I was making in other businesses. Spent 2 years making good amount of money, 25 less. I wouldn't be surprised if this year was 0. Point in saying that is, I'm finally looking for something other real, right? Even those apps are so aware of what you click on. So as an example, I had met some guys. I remember I met this guy that he was super down to earth. He was super chill. He was a security officer at a shack at the FedEx plant here in northern Colorado. So there's a big, basically anybody that gets FedEx, their hub in this area is that plant. And it's a gigantic plant with fuckloads of trucks. It's basically a truck depot, shipping house. It's behind a fence. So this guy runs the fucking fence that goes back and forth, right? He's super down to earth, super chill, seemed like a really nice guy. So I opened up a couple security guard security officer jobs. Then my phone, all it wants to show me is security jobs. And it's just like, it almost seems like, I shouldn't say it seems like, I'm certain I need to be aware of what news stories I engage with, because those are the news stories that now my phone is going to show me. I need to be aware of the jobs that I open, even if just to browse the qualifications, even if just to browse the fucking salary. I need to be aware, because now that's what it thinks I want. That you're constantly giving it your preferences. You know what's so crazy? For years I wanted my son to watch this movie Click. I finally bought it for him, and he loves it. He loves it, which is so, because I was like so concerned. You know how you like watch something in years past and you're like, I don't know if it's going to hold up. I wanted him to watch that. It's on. I have this whole list of movies that I want my son to watch. You know what I mean? So hey, if I die and you're watching this and you're not sure if we went through all of them, find my phone, find the movies, buy those for my son. I'm slowly buying each one of them, but I bought Click, which is the Adam Sandler movie where he gets the remote where he can control his life. And now I don't remember why I'm talking about it, but he loves it. I'm so happy that he loves it. I knew he'd like this movie. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's some goofy stuff in there, but Adam Sandler's a great actor and he does a great job. I really, really like that movie. The biggest thing that I think I get from that is like, he's just family first, and he's so right. He's so right. It's so easy to get caught up. It's so easy to get caught up in trying to make money. It's so easy to get caught up, and even I've done it here recently, and I almost didn't even realize it. It took me. I think this car accident was supposed to happen for me to realize a lot of things, and I in the last week, not being able to work out, having this restless leg syndrome, really trying to take it easy and really promote my recovery. Even I've sacrificed some of what could be quality time with my son for the opportunity to make money. And it's like, you have to make money. You have to be able to pay your bills. But it's so clear that family is the most important thing. And to have family first is going to be the most important decision that we can all make. And that's that he loved that about that movie. He said it's sad. You know, I mean, it is sad. It is sad because he makes all the wrong decisions and he gets to learn from that. I feel like there's something I was talking about that had to do with it. It was algorithm. Oh, it's exactly the algorithms are working off of our preferences. So it's like, you can't be mad, just in the same way that remote is working off of his preferences and Click. But then ultimately he realizes he's, spoiler alert, he skips past his entire life. You know what I mean? These sicknesses and waiting in traffic and fighting with his wife and massaging his wife and all these things that, he thinks he wants to skip through. Turns out that's actually life. You know what I mean? It's like it's just working on his preferences. And it's like, in the same way, these apps and these sites that we engage with are just working on our preferences. But then it's so silly. Like, I feel like I want to open the story because the headline got me. But I know if I open the story, or even if I spend a long time with this headline as what's viewed, what's prominent in my view, they're going to give me more stories like that. And so it kind of sucks. You have to be super weary. It's the very end of the episode. I bet a lot of people won't get to this point, but what's another thing that's like that I'm so weary of? And like I said, I don't think a lot of people are going to make it to this point. And if you do, you can judge me if you want to, but if not, I bet you're a human. So when I was younger, my mom got our computer worked on, and I had downloaded a bunch of porn on the computer as a teenager, right? At the time, I was a teenager. Now that I'm mentioning it, I feel like I've talked about this before, and I said I wasn't going to do that anymore. But at the time, I was a teenager, right? I downloaded stuff that, as a teenager, I'm certain the women that were in the scenes were not teenagers, because they were all very much older than me, and I was going to school with and had been in class with for many years, many teenagers. These women were not teenagers. However, the gentleman that looked at our computer said, I'm going to let you guys go on this occasion, but your son has a bunch of underage pornography on the computer. One, wasn't fucking true, because everybody has seen those teenage girl pornography. And if I mean everybody, I mean any guy probably that's looked for something has seen I don't remember what point I'm trying to make, so I'm just going to keep talking, but I have no idea where I was going with this. Everybody's seen like that, like teenage girl shit, right? Again, they were all 20s, 30s, I'm certain, because at the time I was a teenager. So even still, it's not crazy that I would be interested in that. Oh, what I do remember what I was going to say. Nowadays, because that instance happened, I will not even click. I don't touch any of the step anything, step brother, step sister, step anything, step mother, step dad. Don't touch it. I don't touch any of the teenage stuff. So any of the teen, same thing. It will be the same actress that has just won MILF of the Year. She's just won MILF of the Year. She's fucking 46 years old and she's fucking being put in a teen video. You know she's not a teen. It's the fucking keyword that they're using to sell the video at that point, or to get clicks on the video so they can sell advertising on the video at that point. None of it is the same. But my point in saying that is, on that algorithm, I don't even chance it. I'm like, no fucking chance, because I feel like if I continue to click on this step stuff, if I continue to click on this teen stuff, that's all it's going to serve me. It fucks with you every once in a while. I don't know if you've noticed, but it'll throw in like trans or gay or whatever. It throws in all of that stuff. Step, these same things that I've mentioned. If you click on them, that will now dominate your algorithm. I feel that way with news. I feel that way with my Instagram. I feel that way with everything. But again, you can't really blame them, because they're technically just like the remoting click, the Adam Sandler movie. They're just working on your preferences. So it's like, can't really blame them. But the weird thing is like, now I feel like I'm literally have to be weary of which news stories I interact with. You guys will have to let me know if you experience the same thing. Do you feel like when you click on a story, now those are all the stories that you're getting? Do you feel like maybe when you're, looking at something a little more promiscuous, do you feel like that your promiscuous feed is a little bit more dominated by that in the future? Just curious. There was one other thing that I was going to mention. I almost feel like I should save it. You know what? It's kind of a good segue. Because I'm talking about, so to speak, dirty shit. And, okay, so this guy, right? I've been drinking my son's Gatorades. Fucking shouldn't buy them. I know they're bad. But I was like buying them at gas stations, right? I'd be like, oh, I'm going to treat my son with a fucking Gatorade. And then I'm buying them okay, buy 2 at a gas station. Buy 2 at a gas station. Buy 2 at a gas station. So I was like, fuck, I guess I'm just going to buy them at Sam's. And now I'm drinking them, which I shouldn't be. Still not an ad for Gatorade. Now I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was going to talk about. Oh my God. Okay, so there's this guy. Years ago, I was plumbing, right? And I wondered if this is a tactic, and you'll have to let me know if this is a tactic. So you have to tell me if this is a tactic that you've used, seen used, or been used on you. I have a gentleman that I work with forever. This is years ago. So years ago, it was right after my son was born. So it had to be almost fucking 8 years ago, 6 to 8 years ago. My son is really young, so I'm certain that it was like approximately around that time. Every day I bring my lunch. Just like I was just talking about with the gas stations, it's, I guess, an easy segue in the sense that I realize if every day I go to the fucking fast food restaurant, if every day I go to the gas station, if every day I go to Walmart, if every day I go and I purchase this thing, if I can find a way to buy that in bulk, I know it's disgusting. I know a lot of people are like, it's like basically like you've committed to fucking like being a family and a housewife life, and it's all fucking, somehow negatively depicted. The truth is, if you know you're going to buy some Starbucks drink every day and you can buy them for less by buying a lot of them at one time, if you know you're going to eat cheese every day and you can buy the cheese for less by buying a lot at one time, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? In the same way, I don't eat out. When I'm working for a job, especially if I'm not making a lot of money, that's not where I want to waste my money. Like I like to smoke. Occasionally I drink. I like to do some things, but it's not eat out. It's not eat fast food. It's not eat from gas stations. That's just not my bag. It's not my deal. Like my son's drug is Fortnite. My drug is, smoking a joint every once in a while. You know what I mean? Having a drink every once in a while, having some vodka every once in a while. I like to, since I became healthy, I throw some electrolytes in the vodka. It's my favorite. I just have shitloads of electrolytes in my vodka, and That's the way to go. You know what I mean? So, point being, I have my thing. This is not my thing. One time, I feel like I'm like literally accepting it to appease him, right? Like, I don't want to go out with you. I'd never go out with you. Every day you've asked me, he doesn't ask me every day, but every day you have asked me, I don't go. I always bring my own lunch. I always eat from home. Just here recently, I made myself a chili and I was eating it cold. It reminded me of those days because I didn't even want to bother the people with the microwave because only like just a few people on the construction sites are smart enough to travel with a microwave because they know you're going to want to heat up your lunch. I didn't even bother those people. I would, because I just didn't want to fucking step on any toes on the construction site. It was like you're always trying to fucking be as friendly as you possibly can because you're working alongside these people. There's a lot of shitheads. You just want to step on as few toes as you can. So I eat even cold chili and everything every day, right? This guy invites me. He says, you want to go to Burger King? I'm like, all right, yeah, I go to Burger King. He says, I'll treat. I'm like, okay, I'll let this guy treat. I bought like the $1. Well, I was trying to think the other day when I was thinking about this story, when I was thinking about the experience. Now I'm telling the story. I bought like the cheapest chicken sandwich on the deal, right? So like not even like the chicken sandwich meal or whatever. Like if it was McDonald's, it'd be like the hot and spicy. It'd be like the $1 menu chicken sandwich, right? Like I get like a $1 menu chicken sandwich. He shouts. Now he told me that this was his father. He said his father was the inventor of the penis pump. So he said his father was the inventor of the penis pump. His father ran a penis pump factory, and he sold penis pumps as he grew up. Now this man seemed like he was screaming, seemed like he was shouting this information to every other person. I was so uncomfortable. To this day, I remember cringing and lowering in my seat, and I couldn't have gone low enough in my seat to hide myself from all the peering eyes that were listening to this man talk about penis pumps at the loudest volume that you possibly could. Now, I was curious, is there a tactic to invite somebody to lunch and to offer to treat them and to make the experience so fucking god-awful that for the rest of their life, now 6 to 8 years later, they still remember it as one of the most cringy moments that they've ever experienced? But they would never consider asking you or taking you up on treating them for lunch again. Now, is that a tactic? Is that a thing? Have you ever heard of that? Do you really think that this man at this plumbing company's father was the inventor of the penis pump? Do you believe that he worked at a factory in Kansas that dispensed and manufactured penis pumps? And do you believe that I should have been embarrassed? Do you believe as a man, an older man, was screaming about penis pumps in the middle of a Burger King that I was sitting at a tiny, tiny little table with? Do you believe I should have been embarrassed? Because I was, and I'll remember it forever. But I don't know if I should believe that that man actually was the son of the inventor of the penis pump. But that's what he said. If you could, leave a comment, let us know. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll share the story about the car accident. I was going to say the carcrete. That me slamming my head into that windshield and the fucking pound of onion rings that I ate earlier will forever affect my ability to communicate, speak, and tell you what I'm thinking in my mind. But I hope that you'll subscribe and you'll come back for the car accident. Maybe I was going to say car crash too. Maybe I was going to say car crash, not carcrete. Because carcrete is like concrete, and that's not a thing. Maybe I was going to say car crash, and then I want to say car accident, and I said carcrete. I don't know. But if you come back next week, we're going to talk more about the car accident. If you subscribe, you'll get all the videos that I put out. Sometime I'm going to talk about the supplements that I take. I feel like today I went over turmeric, and you can let me know if there's any specific one you want to hear about. I'm going to tell you as much as I can, but I want to talk more about the car accident next week. I want you to come back and join me next week. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to like this video. I want to spend more time with you, and I appreciate you coming and spending time with me today. I look forward to the next time that we are together. I thank you